Hello everyone, this is Ronnie from YouTube coming back to you with some more raw food stuff. And the question of the day is, can a raw food diet cure you of being gay? Yes. No. No, it cannot cure you of being gay. Now, you might ask, why the hell would you bring up this question? Why would anyone think that? And I would think that too. But this still comes up. This is still something that comes up. I don't know where this came from, but at a raw food event last year, there was a thing in a men's circle, not at the UK Fruit Fest, at another event, and the guy that was leading the circle, who was an older gentleman, basically said that put forward this idea of raw food diet being able to cure gay, or maybe I don't know if he put it forward as a theory. I don't know if he said it for sure, for fact. I don't know, but he put it out there, and ironically, there was a gay man sitting beside him. This is all second-hand information. I wasn't there at the time. I know the individuals involved, and that guy had been on a raw food diet for quite a while, and he's gay, so he was pretty offended by that idea. And it's a scary thing for an event to allow that to be promoted, or I don't think they would want. I don't think that's their message at all. But it's a scary thing that people would share that, especially people in kind of authority positions. And I have met other, usually men, one other guy I can think of. So it's not a very common thing, but I can think of one other guy who kind of talks about that stuff a little bit like it's unnatural to be gay, or like that kind of thing. And who's interested in raw food stuff. And I don't know if there is a book somewhere. Maybe some of you can let me know, but there must be a book or something that suggests this as an idea, because I can't think where anyone would have got it from. There's certainly nothing in the modern sort of raw food world that supports this idea or suggests this idea. If you look at any of the books or any stuff made in the last 10, 15 years, you don't find that. So I'm guessing it's stuff from way back in the day that's suggesting that you can fast or heal or whatever from being gay. I don't know if the gay conversion movement, if there is fasting suggested or anything else like that. Like, I just don't know. But we can deal with this pretty quickly in this video. Out in the world, there is billions of people eating a bad diet. Let's say hundreds of millions eating a bad diet. And there is only a small percentage of those that are gay. So if the diet was the cause of being gay, then you would see many more people being gay. But then you might say, well, it's a mixture of genetics and diet and all sorts of things. Well, then you're kind of admitting that it's a whole bunch of random stuff. But the raw food diet will only really work for you in terms of healing a health issue if the issue was caused by diet. Now, 100% of the people basically that have things like heart disease, diabetes, that can be cured on a raw food diet, they eat in a particular way that causes that, and they all basically get it, or they all go towards it. They might not all end up fully heart disease or diabetic clinically, but everyone that eats that way goes towards it. And we don't find that with the idea of being gay, like, well, everyone that eats badly or whatever is a wee bit gay. Like, that's not, it's not happening like that. But we just have to use our common sense. We don't really need to look into science or anything. We all know people that were gay from when they were 5 years old or 3 years old or whatever. Like, we all were in primary school, and there was some boys that hung about with the girls all the time, and they never stopped hanging out with the girls, you know. So so there was always, we just see this as part of human nature, as part of human culture, and the fact that they don't have the desire to reproduce with a woman or whatever, or with a man, doesn't really, I don't know, it doesn't really mean anything either way. As far as we know, I believe that there's examples of gay behaviour in animals. So if you're kind of someone that says this is natural, that is natural, therefore it's good or bad, or whatever. Like, I don't think something being natural is good or unnatural being bad, but if you're looking for that evidence, it's there. And I think that, although I'm not the best student of sexuality stuff, I think that there's some evidence that suggests people are born with a sexuality. I think there's very strong evidence that no one's actually born with a particular set sexuality, and that maybe your conditions and your upbringing always plays a role in that, with most people tending towards heterosexuality. But I don't, as I say, it's not something I've really studied, but one thing I'll know for sure is that it's not the fact that you weren't brought up on raw foods. There's definitely not anything to do with it. And the other thing is that it's not like a disease, like it's not a condition or an illness. It's an aspect of human nature, so it's not something you're going to cure. I love the idea that raw foods can cure a lot of stuff that we don't even know yet. Like, maybe could people who are schizophrenic be cured on a raw food diet? Could people who have dementia be cured on a raw food diet? Could people with Parkinson's be cured if they fully embrace the raw food diet? Don't really know. I mean, probably, maybe not. Like, it would be nice, but it's not going to cure everything. It certainly can't cure things that aren't connected fully to diet. But I think there's way more stuff connected to diet than we realise. I think diet plays a big role in a lot of these things. But no, just think about that. There's so many people eating all these poor diets, and it's obviously not causing everyone to be gay. People might bring up, like, oh, it's the chemicals in the foods, it's degradation over many lifetimes. No, it's just always been a part of human communities that there's been gay people. It goes way back. So people have been brought up to, I don't know, dislike gay people or not like. See, that's the thing. It's not that people haven't been brought up to accept gay people. It's that they've been brought up to dislike them, and the only reason for that is they've not been exposed to gay people, or they've not been around them, or whatever, you know. I think that, yeah, that's you know, there's all this stuff about we need to teach children about gay people in schools and stuff, but I don't think children have a hatred of gay people. I don't think they need to be taught that. I think they just need to not be taught the other side of it, to dislike them. So there's not much more to say about this. If you are gay and you're looking and you want to not be gay, this is not going to be a solution. It is a way of being healthier. It is I encourage the lifestyle for everyone. But, there's plenty of gay people who are into the raw food thing, and they're not changing, and I don't think they want to change. So there. And I don't know, does raw food change you? Can it open people up to different ideas? Can it make, I don't know, like maybe a little bit, maybe it does to somewhat. But this thing really needs to stop. I made a video a while ago, this has to stop. This is another thing in the raw another thing. Someone needs to tell me, what are the books that said this? What are the books, who are the people that used to say you could cure being gay with a raw food diet. Maybe it's like the Hallelujah Acres thing or whatever, like a religious community that did a raw food diet. Maybe it's them. But no, you're not. You're not changing sexuality eating a raw food diet, and people passing that around is just embarrassing. It discredits the whole movement. It's dangerous. It is offensive, and I know that people say, you know, that freedom of speech shouldn't be curtailed just because someone's offended, and I get that. Like, I understand that you should have the right to say things if you want to say them in freedom of speech, but when you're saying them just out of just to offend, like without any other purpose but just to your own personal agenda or whatever, then it's just offensive for no purpose. You're just being offensive for you know, and that's not a nice thing to do. Like, I mean, you're free to say it, but it is just it's offensive to people, and if it's offensive to people, it it destroys relationships. It's not good for the raw food movement because we don't want to just offend. We don't want to be offending people, apart from people that are eating a bad diet. But we want to offend them a little bit. We can't help it. We just can't help it. So, yeah, I don't think there's anything else to say about this. We need to not allow these kind of ideas to be spread. We need to try and, I don't know, educate people if they still believe these things. Probably maybe some if you're religious or Christian, maybe you have different ideas against gay people or whatever, and you think there's a solution, but whatever, the raw food diet isn't for that and won't do that, and I've never seen any examples of that, and there's plenty of examples of people doing a raw food diet who are gay and all that kind of stuff. So that's that in a nutshell. Thank you for watching the video. Feel free to like, share, subscribe. And the UK Fruit Fest is coming up soon. If you'd be interested in coming, you can go to fruitfest.co.uk/registration. And you can book a call with me and we will talk about the festival a little bit and what goes on and see if it's right for you and see if there's an option that's right for you to come. So thank you very much.